President Park Geun-hye met with visiting Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong on this Wednesday and discussed ways to further expand economic cooperation.
The bilateral summit with Lee was her last of 2013. Our presidential office correspondent Oh Jin-ju has the details.
The bilateral summit between President Park Geun-hye and Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong mainly focused on laying the path to further economic cooperation between the two countries. The two leaders in their summit talks on Wednesday saw eye to eye on the need for Korea and Singapore to strengthen cooperation to develop new areas of growth.
이제는 또 창조와 혁신을 바탕으로 해서 새로운 도약을 해야 되는 그런 공통의 과제에 직면해 있다고 생각이 됩니다.
Now with new expectations and new domestic social problems differently but with some similarities, and I think that we can learn from each other's experiences.
The two leaders promised to work together in entering third markets, especially ASEAN member countries, combining Korea's competitiveness in the construction, IT, and manufacturing sectors, and Singapore's strength in finance and distribution. Another important field of cooperation is in research and development. The two sides decided to open the first meeting of a joint science and technology committee set up back in 1997 and also signed a biomedical MOU to expand their technological cooperation to the nano-robot industry. The summit talks with Lee were President Park's last of 2013. It's been a busy year on the diplomatic stage for the president. Since her inauguration in February, she's held a total of 30 bilateral summits with world leaders and made 5 overseas trips to the U.S., China, Russia, Southeast Asia, and Europe. She was successful in securing support for her North Korea policy from other countries, including permanent member nations of the UN Security Council. Through her sales diplomacy, Korea saw progress in FTA talks with many nations, including Indonesia, Vietnam, and Canada, and won support for Korean companies. However, there remain challenges for President Park when it comes to China and Japan. China's unilateral announcement of a new air defense zone has raised tensions in the region, and the Korean government still has unresolved matters with Tokyo, such as the Japanese government's push to exercise its collective self-defense and other historical issues. Oh Jin-ju, Arirang News.